Hi everybody, Rob here on the back patio, and welcome to this week's Throwback Thursday. This week's episode is the homeless vet and the bank burglary. I was working downtown Central Division, graveyard shift. It was the middle of winter. We had a really bad storm come in. It was really high winds, a lot of rain, and it was really cold. So I was driving around and expected to spend my night answering false alarms, burglar alarms, because of the high winds blowing the doors and rattling the windows and setting off the alarms. And that's pretty much what I did. Driving around on the streets of downtown San Diego, raining like cats and dogs. There was nobody out on the streets. All the prostitutes had taken cover inside the local Denny's. All the servicemen had gone back to their ship. All the homeless people had gone off to the shelters. There was no traffic, nothing. So it was a couple hours into my shift, and I had answered a couple of false alarms, burglar alarms, because of the wind shaking the doors and stuff. And I get a radio call of another burglar alarm going off at one of the banks downtown. And I figure, well, it's probably just another false alarm. I mean, who's going to be breaking into a bank in that time of the morning in the middle of one of the worst storms we've had in a long time? But I had to treat it as it might be a real call. So I respond, pull up down the street, park at the curb, no lights or siren, turn off my lights, get out of the patrol car. Took off my bright yellow raincoat, threw it in the front seat because I don't want the suspects to see me walking down the street. Took the glove off my gun hand, tossed it in the seat, locked the doors and shut them. And I go walking off down the sidewalk towards the bank, which is sitting in the middle of the block, pouring down rain. And I'm trying to stay in the shadows, stay out of the light of the street lights above, so nobody sees me coming. And of course I have no backup unit, so it's just me. I'm walking down there, and as I approach the bank, I notice a homeless man sitting on the brick planter out in front of the bank, curled over, all tucked under, keep out of the rain. So I, just give him an eye, just see what's up. He doesn't even lift his head up, doesn't even acknowledge me, so I just go walk on by him. Go on down towards where the main entrance of the bank is at. As I start going up the steps, I can see that the front glass door of the bank is busted wide open. So, okay, I get on the radio and I tell dispatch, I got the front doors broke in, get me a backup unit. Well, nobody answers up to backup. So I go up to the front of the door and kneel down and turn my flashlight on and look inside, and I can see one of the bricks from the planter out front had been thrown through the front door to bust open the door. So I asked dispatch, when's my backup coming? And they tell me, well, they still haven't gotten anybody to volunteer to back up. So I tell them, okay, I'm going inside. So I'm still crouched down, and I go inside, and I'm staying along the edges of the walls, turning the flashlight on and off every so often, looking, check the whole inside the bank. And the bank's empty, there's nobody there. It doesn't look like, any of the offices have been broken into, none of the drawers have been rummaged through or anything. So I get back on the air and tell dispatch it's code 4, the bank is empty, and ask them to contact the company to come and board up the front door and secure it so I can leave. And I go back out the front door same way I came in, crouch down and come out. And as I stand up, I look down there at the bottom of the steps is standing that homeless man. So I go down to the bottom of the steps and I go, "Hi, how you doing?" And he goes, "Okay." I go, "Did you happen to see who threw the brick through the window or through the door?" He goes, "Yeah, I did it." I go, So I'm thinking now, okay, is this guy crazy or what? I go, "You did it?" He goes, "Yeah, I threw the brick through the door." I go, "Well, what'd you do that for?" He goes, "Well, because I want to get arrested. I want to go to jail." I go, "Why?" He goes, I want someplace warm and dry to sleep and 3 meals a day. I go, well, why don't you just go to the homeless shelter right down the street? He goes, I don't want to go there. All they do is preach at you all night long, and there's a bunch of crazy people there. He goes, I'd rather go to jail. And I say, well, okay. I go, but thing is, if all you did was throw a brick through the front door and break the door, that's nothing more than a vandalism. That's a misdemeanor. So I can't arrest you for that. All I could do is maybe issue you a misdemeanor citation because the jails are full. We don't arrest for misdemeanors. I go, the only way I could arrest you is if it's a felony, and it can't be a felony unless you went inside. And he sits there, he's thinking a bit. And he looks back up at me and he goes, well, I went inside. I go, you sure? He goes, yeah, I did. I go, okay, so you're admitting to breaking out the window and going inside and committing a felony burglary? He goes, yeah. Well, okay. Turn around and put your hands behind your back. So he turns around and puts his hands behind his back. And I handcuff him. And I pat him down, make sure he didn't have any weapons on him. And, of course, he did have a pocket knife on him. And his pocket knife had the emblem of the U.S. Marine Corps. So we go walking down to my patrol car down at the corner and open up the door, get him inside and sit him in there. And I get in the front seat and I pull around to the front of the bank and stop and sit there, and I tell him, okay, well, I'm going to have to wait here until either dispatch sends me a backup unit to watch the bank or the company arrives to secure the front door. So we got some time here to just sit and I'll start filling out the report. He goes, okay. So I get all his information for the arrest report and everything. We're sitting there and we start talking, and he tells me that the reason that he did it is because that he had heard that bank robbery, if you get convicted of bank robbery, that they'll send you to federal prison, and it's much nicer than state prison or county jail. And I said, well, yeah, but that's bank robbery. What you're admitting to is burglary, not robbery. So you'll probably just go to state prison if you plead guilty to it. He goes, well, I guess that's better than nothing, better than living on the streets. And he wants to know, well, how much time am I going to get? Well, I don't know. That's up to the courts, you know. I mean, it's a felony. You could get anywhere from, I think it was 1 to 5 years. He goes, well, I don't really want to do 5 years. He says, I just want to have some place to stay through the winter for the next 3 months or so. And I said, well, here's what you do then. When you get to court and you get your court-appointed lawyer, tell them that you'll plea bargain down to a misdemeanor. And then you'll probably get 3 to 6 months. And if you have good behavior while you're in county jail, you'll be out in 3 months. And that'll carry you through the winter. He goes, oh, okay, man, that sounds like a really good idea. Okay, well, then finally a backup unit arrives. So I tell them, they got to stay there and watch the bank while we take off and go downtown and get the guy's booking slip approved. So I get back in the car, I tell him, okay, we're going to head off downtown to Central, and I'm going to get the booking slip approved, and I'll be taking you to jail. And he goes, okay, well, if you don't mind, I'm just going to lay back here and take a little nap while you're doing all that. And I said, okay, go ahead. So I drive on down to the station, pull in the patio park, go in to the sergeant to get my booking slip approved. And I tell the sergeant the story about, I get the burglar alarm, and I get there, and front windows broke out. And somebody had thrown a brick through it, and as I checked the bank, and the hole inside the bank was all okay, and I come out, and there's the guy standing there, and he confesses to it and said that he broke out the window and went inside and looked around and couldn't find anything to steal, and so he knew he was going to get caught, so he just decided to sit there and wait for me. So the sergeant, he's kind of scratching his head, the whole thing sounds kind of weird. And I didn't want to tell the sergeant, the story about the guy being a homeless vet and just wanting someplace to stay for the winter, be nice and warm and dry and get fed and taken care of. Because then the sergeant probably would have said, well, bullshit, that's, we can't do that. Just issue him a misdemeanor citation and, get him out of here. So anyway, the sergeant approves the booking slip for felony burglary. I go back out and get in the car, take the guy over to the jail, and I wake him up because he'd been sleeping this whole time. And I get him out, and before I take him inside, I'm sitting there telling him, now remember, when you get to court and you get your court-appointed lawyer, you tell them that, you want a plea bargain, and you will plead guilty to a misdemeanor. And that way you'll get 3 to 6 months in the county jail. And if you have good behavior in county jail, you're going to get out in half time, which will be about 3 months, and that should carry you through the winter. And he goes, okay. So I take him inside the jail, put my gun in the locker there, face him to the wall and unhandcuff him. And the jailers open up the next door to go into the area where all the intake and receiving area. Guy turns around, shakes my hand, thanks me. And I wish him good luck, and he steps inside, and the jailers shut the door, and they all looking at me kind of funny. They go, what's that all about? So I stepped over and I told him, he's a homeless vet. He just committed a burglary so he could get arrested and have some place nice and warm to stay throughout the winter and get fed. And they go, well, is he ate tonight? I go, I don't know, I didn't ask him. I said, maybe you guys can check and find out and see and get him something to eat. And they said, oh, no problem, they'll take care of it. So I got my gun out of the locker and, went back and jumped in my car and hit the streets, cleared the call. Spent the rest of the night or morning driving around, answering more fake false alarm burglaries on all the businesses. But that bothered me the whole time of not really having a real solution for that guy. Because he didn't want to go to the homeless shelters because they preach at him all the time. There's crazy people in there. And there was nowhere else to take him or do it. So had to do what he wanted, which was to basically charge him with the felony. I never did go to court on it, so I'm pretty sure that he plea bargained and pled guilty to a misdemeanor. And it's just a sad state of affairs when our veterans have to resort to crap like that in order to have some place to stay and eat and everything. So, wish there would have been something else I could have done, but that was all I could do. That's my story for this week. I don't know, it's kind of hard to enjoy something like that or like that kind of a story because it's so sad. And I'm sure that kind of crap still goes on today because our streets are full of homeless veterans in every town, everywhere, because our effing government doesn't take care of them properly. All right, well, give me some comments. Come back again next week. See you guys. Bye-bye. Oh, man. My shoulder hurts like hell today. Sorry. Bye-bye.